Ever feel like owning a home is some kind of exclusive club and you just don't have the password to get in? So many of us feel that way. But what if there was a different way? Today, we're going to explore a path called seller financing that kind of bypasses a lot of those traditional hurdles.
Okay, let's just dive right in. And let's be real for a second. Trying to buy a home the old-fashioned way can be an absolute nightmare. For way too many people, it just feels like a constant uphill battle.
I mean, doesn't it feel like you're trying to solve an impossible puzzle sometimes? You do everything right. You save every dime, you make a solid plan, and then bam, interest rates go wild or home prices just shoot through the roof again. It's such a common frustration, and it's exactly why we need to talk about other options. So check this out. This slide sums up the problem perfectly. On the left, you've got what the banks are looking for, this ideal candidate with a huge down payment and a flawless credit score. But let's be honest, saving 20–30% is incredibly hard, and, well, life happens, you know? There's this massive gap between what they expect and our actual reality.
But what if there was a way to just bridge that gap? Well, that's exactly where seller financing comes into the picture. And honestly, it might just be the solution you've been looking for. So what is seller financing anyway? Think of it like this. Instead of getting a loan from a big bank, you get it directly from the person who's selling the house. The seller becomes your lender. It sounds like a pretty small shift, but trust me, it completely changes the entire game. And yeah, this image really says it all, doesn't it? By cutting out the bank, you're not just cutting out a middleman, you're getting rid of tons of complexity, all that endless paperwork, and the crazy fees that come with it. It just becomes a direct, much simpler deal between you and the seller. All right, so that all sounds great in theory, but how does it actually work in the real world? Let's break it down into a super simple three-step process.
Okay, the very first thing that jumps out at you is this number, 10–12%. That's the typical down payment. Now, just to put that into perspective, a traditional mortgage usually wants at least 20%. That is a massive difference that makes owning a home so much more reachable.
And the process itself? It's really as easy as 1, 2, 3. First, you make that much more manageable down payment we just talked about. Second, you and the seller sign a simple agreement with clear terms. No confusing banker jargon. And then step 3? Well, that's the best part. You get the keys to your new home and you start building equity right away.
And get this, you could be moving into your new home in as little as 2 to 3 weeks. Not months, weeks. That's because you're totally skipping the bank's super long, drawn-out approval process. It is a complete game changer if you're eager to just move in and start your new life. So, what does all of this really mean for you? Let's pull it all together and look at the key benefits that seller financing really unlocks. Just look at this list. Every single one of these points is a direct answer to a huge headache from the old system. Worried about your credit score? This is way more flexible. Tired of waiting around for a bank? You can close in a fraction of the time. Plus, with that lower down payment, you can start building your own wealth from day one. And I love this quote right here because it just gets to the heart of the matter. With seller financing, you are not just a number on a credit report. They actually look at your whole financial picture, your job, your income, your story. And that can make all the difference in the world if you've had a few bumps in the road. All right, now for the really fun part. We've talked about the how, so now let's look at the what. The incredible homes you could actually call your own through seller financing.
And, whatever your dream home looks like, there's a really good chance you can find it. Whether you're looking for a cozy starter home, a big, spacious place for a growing family, or a low-maintenance townhouse, the options are incredibly diverse. And we're talking about a huge range of prices here, from under $100,000 all the way up to $5 million. So it doesn't matter if you're a first-time buyer or looking for your forever home, there's truly something for everybody. And this is what it's all about. This is why it matters. For the Martinez family, that 10% down payment wasn't just a number. It was the key that finally unlocked the door to their own place. It was the difference between paying someone else's mortgage and actually building a future for their own family. And Sarah's story is just another powerful example. Life happened, her credit took a hit after her divorce, and the traditional banks just wouldn't even give her a look. But with seller financing, she was able to get a second chance. And now her kids have a stable home, and that is absolutely priceless.
And the best part is, this isn't some niche option available in just a few cities. As you can see from this map, these seller financing opportunities are out there in all 50 states. So no matter where you live, this can be a real path to homeownership for you. So we've seen the frustration of the old system, and we've seen the incredible potential of this alternative. We've seen how it can be a total game changer for so many people. So now the only real question left is, could seller financing be the key to your front door? It might be time to find out.